here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry about the long wait. Alright, we are here now. I am so sorry for the long wait. I know I said that already. But we are about to start the story time about my lore. I just hope it works out. Um, Hopefully this is gonna be good. I hope it is. I don't know for sure. But all I can do is just hope and go for it? So, I hope you enjoy this story time. I will have to warn, it is very sad. So, yeah, be prepared for that. It's not too sad, but it's sad enough that it'll make you understand how Nala got his scar and what Nala's scar stands for. What my scar stands for. Um, it is definitely an interesting story. If it doesn't make sense, I apologize. I literally like made the lore while I was at work. So if it seems a little sporadic, I apologize. If you have any sort of feedback on it, it would be well appreciated, okay? You are free to tell me what you think once I am finished. So, it is time we begin. Just getting it prepared. The story of a man doomed to die. Once upon a time, in an ancient city forgotten in time, a child was born. This child was me. This child had potential and grew into a successful businessman. Linked to the royal family, his bloodline was that of success. One of his brothers were actually the king of their small city. But after months of research, the child, me, learned the brother stole the throne and falsely crowned himself as king. To better cover this up, the brother summoned an evil group of individuals that ran a cult. This cult was known only as Masmura. Yeah, Masmura. The cults were mysterious men and women dressed in all purple and black. Their masks symbolized different animals. They said that they linked themselves to their spiritual beasts. They created a concoction that manipulated their body in such a way that turned them into their spiritual beast. In other words, ripped away their humanity and teared them from their very core, ripping their skin apart and their very bones twisted and contorted into this thing, this beast, or their supposed spirit animal. And so, the brother feared his younger brother's wrath, my wrath, to the extent of telling the cult I was a believer and the chosen one to be the harbinger of this cult's false god. So, in the night, the cult came by force, and took me, Nala, as a sacrifice. Then they baptized me within the substance. The substance ripped away my will, took my humanity, and trapped me within a new body, a king cobra, to stand as a reminder of what was robbed of me. Bold-headed, strong, deadly. Before the change, I was once a knight in my city, in my city's wars. I bring home many victories for my evil brother. I did it all for him, and all I got in return is a lie. I was face to face with a god. They were tall and had a sword larger than anything I've ever seen. I was weak and unable to move. God said, "You are no believer. You are nothing but a snake hiding from the truth. You are a monster." The many men I killed, I thought I was doing the right thing, but I see now. I will free you from your flesh, and give you a new purpose. And so, I became a slave to this god. The first thing I did once I came back from the dead was kill my brother. And so I did. It filled me with power. I did what my god asked. And I went on hunting non-believers, bringing the judge of man, being the judge of man. But soon, I realized this was not the way. I was too late. I killed my brother, and I killed many more for this god. I was doing nothing different. So I walked away from my god. And I would not live. And I would not live. And he would not let me live. So, I had to kill one last thing. And so, I went in to that spirit realm. Went face to face with that god, that false god. And got into an epic sword battle that lasted hours, days, weeks maybe, and killed the god that took my choice. But it scared me forever. But it scarred me forever. For the souls I took was fit. For the souls I took, it was fitting. My will gone. I was broken. Thinking about the faces and the men and women I killed in battle. And the other men and women I killed for this god. This false god did not deserve my devotion. He did not deserve my blade. And yet, I slayed thousands for this god. And it broke me deep down. I thought there was no hope for me. I would not be accepted in this world anymore. And so, I carved a new path for myself. I used the god's sword to carve into a new world. A place that had a purpose for me. I became an entertainer. To drown out the past and to forget the things I lost. I can still remember the day. The day I lost my humanity. The day I died for the first time. The substance burned. I felt it for months. The scar on my face is the battle that was fought all those years ago. The god cursed me with the constant reminder of all the thousands of people I had to kill because I thought it was right. I thought I was defending my right. I thought I was protecting my people. But instead, I was just fighting a war that was not mine to fight. I stood by a false king and believed his lies. He took everything from me, so I took his life. But that was not the way. That was not the way. I should not have done that. I know my father and my mother would not have wanted that for me. But I could not possibly live with this guilt. The pain and suffering I felt. The sacrifice I had to make. He took my humanity. And then I became a slave of another god. Another false king! Who killed more. For what? A title? No. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. I lost more than you can ever know. Battled my life. Lost my will. Everything was gone. I lost my brother. The only brother I have now is Zuko. Though we are distant from one another, I still think of him fondly. My older brother, the false king, though he was evil and forced his way into the throne, I know he only did what he thought was best. He started wars that he knew that he was going to win because I was fighting for him. He wasn't strong enough to fight those wars, but I was. He knew that I was willing to take a life for him because he was all I had after my mother and my father died in war. War never changes, my brother told me. He said, but it is what we are. This city was birthed in blood, and we shall shed more for our protection. And I thought that made sense. But little did I know. It was all to hide. It was all to just keep me busy, so that I would never find out what my brother did. He was the one who killed my father. He was the one who killed my mother, just to seize a throne. For what? An empty lie? To fight wars he knew my father would not want to fight? He knew my father was smart and wise. So he had to slay my father in order to fight these wars that he knew was impossible. But ever since I became a knight and started training to become the very best, my brother knew this was his moment. This was his time to take down the tyrants that were all around our society. He didn't like any of the people we lived near. And so he pointed, and I went, and I killed them all. I dethroned kings and slayed men for a lie. And what did I get in return? A scar. A symbol. That's what I am. A symbol of my resolve. Of my never-ending determination. That's what I am. I'm a king cobra. I'm bold-headed, smart, and capable of so much. I have great power, but with great power came sacrifice, and with sacrifice came the loss of my will. I lost my humanity. It was stripped away from me. I lost my choice, and I lost my voice. I was silenced by that God. It took everything from me. I thought I was doing what was right. But in the end, it was just simply another story. Another legend to throw into the list of others. I was just a name in history. And when I died, nobody remembered me. No one came to my grave. Not even my brother. I was forgotten. But when I came back, I struck fear into the hearts of the men and women who dared said my name, who dared scorned me. And I thought I was getting my vengeance. I thought that was my way of giving back what I lost. But instead, I just followed another lie. I just followed another story. Another false king's false promises. But in the end, it was all just a good ending for me. I was able to carve my own path, free an entire civilization from a God that lied to us all. This God did not give us peace. This God did not give us life. This God gave us war. This God gave us bloodshed. This God lied to us. Took everything from us. Our choice, our freedom, our everything. Even our flags did not seem right. They seemed empty, like they just flew for our names. We are not gods. We are just humans. We do not deserve to have flags flying in our name. We deserve to carve our own path. We deserve to make our own history. And that is what I'm doing. I started streaming to make myself gain my will again, to feel more connected with my human self that's still somewhere deep within this coiled soul of a body. I may be covered in scales, but I still feel so human. This scar on my face, I can still feel it like it was freshly cut. I can still feel the connection to the souls I took. I never forgot them. I know what they sacrificed, and I know what they were fighting for. If only I could make a difference. If only I could take it back. But sadly, I cannot. I made my choice. And I lost a lot. But I also gained a lot. I became more knowledgeable, more smart, more capable, and more open. I can now see that this world is also struggling, also making choices that are much like mine, following their own gods, and falling into their own lies. And that is what I'm here for, is to let everyone know that no matter what you have done in the past, the present is what matters. You matter. I have done terrible things, but I have managed to grow into a man, a gentleman, a king. I may not be on a throne, but I'm here, sitting with you. The real king is you. Not me. You. You being here. You supporting me. And you giving me the will to go on. That is why I do what I do. I reach out, looking for a purpose. Always seeing so many young individuals that remind me so much of myself when I was human. And I can't help but cry. I don't feel sorry for them, but I feel like what I would do to have that again. If only these scars wouldn't remind me of the lives I've took. So much has happened to me, both as a knight and a king. I watched my civilization fall under a tyrant, and I couldn't do anything but stand there and fight. But life goes on, and I live my own future now. My past is forgotten, and I am happy it is like that. I choose to never remember what I did, and I move on. I don't fight for the dead no more. I fight for my friends. I fight for you. Whatever war you're fighting, whether it be internal or mental, I understand. I'm here. I will fight with you and beside you. Always. I will never deny you. I will never lie to you. And I will always understand you. No matter what you are, no matter what you've done, I will stand with you and love you. Because that's all I can do. That's all I can give, is my love and appreciation. It's not much, but it's enough. That has been my lore. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, that was certainly something, huh? Yeah, I guess that was it. Um the lore is something